Hi, Ms. Almansour. I just wanted to share some feedback on your introduction, and I'm going to start by saying, excellent job! Very good. You are off on a strong start with this introduction. In fact, your bullet points are very well written, so excellent job with that. There are a couple things I want to go over as you continue working on this. First, starting with the outline, it would be more helpful for me if you were to put the bullet points underneath the particular heading so that I would know that you're saying this is why the area is important or this is what we know. So it more easily is organized. Again, just because it helps my brain to know exactly where we are in terms of completing the different sections. All right, on to the colors. So the blue indicates information that I think is very critical. However, you want to make sure that you don't introduce too much about the barriers in the introduction because you really want to focus on the psychosocial barriers that we're assessing. So we're more so focusing on like perceptions, belief, behaviors. So I really don't see that in the introduction because here you're focusing a lot on like physical barriers and things of that nature. So you want to try to find previous research that looks at those perceived benefits, perceived perceived risk or control beliefs, those other characteristics, and how they relate to screening, even if it's not among individuals with disability. The red, when I read this, I was like, what in the world is this? And the reason that I said that is because you have a reference that is super, super old, and this information is more than likely outdated. So, as a reminder, when you are putting together your lit review, do your best to focus on articles that are no older than 10 years old. Now, it's okay if you include articles that are older than 10 years old, but the articles have to be like seminal papers, right? And the reason that I say this is that because this statement about the consumption of medications may have negative effects. That has, in my area of research is cervical cancer, that has not been a proven fact, and I don't know that you would necessarily find that in other papers. So again, to keep things, make sure things are current and update with the latest research on the subject, try your best to stick within 10 years of the date. So ideally nothing beyond 2013. I see like a couple of 2012. That's fine. You're just skating by. The 2009, you might want to try, especially if this is statistics, you might want to try to find something more more current. But again, it's not absolutely terrible, but try your best to find them more current. So that's what the red means. The yellow is because this is focused, this information is focused on like low and middle income countries. We're the US. We're only focusing on data that was collected in the US, so we don't have to worry about any of this other stuff. Also about HPV, we don't have to worry about that. So just keep in mind the primary research question, which is, are there significant differences in women who meet or don't meet or have never gotten the pap test and their cancer beliefs, right? So keep that in mind, and that should be the focus of the background. So again, talking about how cancer beliefs can influence cancer behaviors, that should be in the background because this is where you're justifying why we're looking at cancer beliefs in this population. So this information here, building up to the background, is very important in terms of why this information is important, right? So we're saying that women with disabilities, are more likely to develop cervical cancer, more than likely due to lack of screening, right? So this piece, what we know, right? So the what we know, that can be related to cancer beliefs, right? So you mentioned the social cultural barriers, right? Social cultural factors here, right? So this is the section where you would talk about what we know. So we know that social cultural factors lead to poor health outcomes, but what are those, right? So go into more detail about cancer beliefs and the impact on screening behaviors. Again, even if it's not, the article is not specifically among cancer beliefs in women with disability, we just want to justify why we're focusing on cancer beliefs. So, and you did a good job here of including rule, because remember, we included that in as one of the confounders that we're controlling for. So great job with that. So overall, very strong start. Just a few things to keep in mind as you move forward, but very, very good job. And again, if you need to meet before our next scheduled meeting, just reach out and let me know. Thanks.